Next one is all except. This is what this is completely different. It removes all front ends filters from a table except for some columns. Okay, it removes all filters from a table except for this one might be confusing. I agree with you. This is a little bit confusing. Even in the case of all except, you can use table name. But sorry, in the case of all except, you have to use the table name as the first argument. Followed by that, you need to use the column name also, right? So here what I do is I just go here. I'm going to show you with an example so that you'll be sometimes when you see that demo, you'll be able to understand. Even if the theory, right, you will not be able to understand. Even I found it a little bit difficult to understand. Look here, in the case of all except, the syntax is different. First argument supposed to be the table name. Second argument, we can specify the column name. You can specify more than one column also, but here is the syntax. Unlike all and all selected, here you need to specify the table name first, comma, you need to specify the column name, whichever column name, okay? You want it, you can use it here, okay? So here, one second, all except I have used other one. Okay, what I will do is I'll just to start with, we will use the simple thing. I just got the modeling ribbon. I'm going to create a new measure. So here I just copy paste this. Yeah. Okay, let it be there, right? Okay. Okay, what I will do is I will just remove this at this moment. And here I'm going to use the dim category itself. Dim category table name. This is syntax for the all except. Remember, okay. And here the dim category and category column and all except measure. For example, I just put new for your batch. So what is happening? Check and tell me, compare the values and tell me which ones are same. I want everyone's contribution. Please make it fast. Which column values are same here? Are you there in the call or not? Yes, Ashish, you are correct. Only Ashish, Praveen, and Rupa are contributing. How about the others? These two are same, right? These two are same, correct? Yes. At last, Tejaswini open. Okay, total sales measure. Total sales measure and all except measure. Both of them display the same value, right? Same value. So what is happening here? What is your understanding here? Yeah, correct. So what is happening here? Since I have used the okay, now the number of people's response is more good. Okay, all except measure, all except category. So in this case, what happened? Except the category column, right? You ignore the filter comes from rest of the columns, rest of the columns. Okay, that means the row. I know apply the row level filter. That's all here. So where category equal to dairy, what is the totals is? Where category equal to, what category equal to dairy, what is the totals is? So in this case, it obeys the internal measure, sorry, internal filter, right? internal filter and external filter. So this one obeys the internal filter, internal row level filter, and slicer the external filter also, right? So the all except function. Whereas here, see, he is obeying for internal as well as the external. This guy is obeying for the external, but he is not obeying for the internal. This guy is not obeying for both the internal as well as the external. Is this simple? The in the layman term explained to you. Okay. So I'll tell you, you go and watch all the videos in YouTube. Right. So this is a very simplified one. The all selected, the all function simply ignores internal and external filters. And all selected measure, what is that here? All selected measure, it ignores internal filter. Okay, only internal filter, which means the row level filter. Okay, it is ignoring it. That's all. Whereas the all except function, okay, it ignores all the filters except the one used it. That means in the all except category column, right? So any filter comes, you apply it. The opposite, okay? So dairy, the row level, where category of dairy, put this one, where category equal to dairy, give me this one. Now the question is, why should I need an all except function in this case when the default initial filter itself gives me the breakdown of the totals across the category? You might be asking this question, right? This is the next question. Okay, the classic example is, right, I just use the location column. Instead of category, I'm going to use the location. Wait, I think I should have used the category location. Okay, so anyhow, it is not there, that example. Okay, I just copy paste this one. Okay, what else? I'll do one thing. I will put the location column here. So where is the location? But if I put that one, it will do the filtering for that one. Okay. Mm, okay. What I will do is I will use the same all except. I have already created another measure. See here what happened. I have used the Boolean filter in addition to the all except. Okay. This is your expression and then filter. It's a Boolean filter. Next one, filter modification function. In this case, the filter modification function is all except. Okay, fine. So what I do is I just drag and drop this column here. 403 dim location name in Chennai. Okay. Okay. What I'll do is I will just select the measure beverages and dry fruits and frozen fruits. It gives me the same thing. And 1 second. 24,000. Okay, let me just check here. The location dimension got linked with this one or not. Filter location dimension is there. Okay. Anyhow, I just check it out. Location key location got linked. And I just go back here. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another slicer. Here I put the location. You can have n number of slices. Okay, it's not that you have to create only one measure. So now the complication starts more. Okay, location name. For example, if I select Chennai, okay, it gives me everything here, and only in Chennai, what are the total sales we made across the category it shows. Okay, and 1 second, let me just check the all except logic once again. All except. Okay, in this case, I just copy this one, copy paste it, and here in this case, I just remove the category column. I'll just use the location name column here. Okay, I just removed the categorical column category. Now instead of that, I just drag and drop the other category called location name. The first one is the text column. If I select Bangalore here, 1842, everything it shows the same thing. Okay, all except measure. Mhm. Two seven three three eight and 1 second, all selected and all except is not there. 1 second here, all except. Okay, 0.00. This is different. In this case, when I select Bangalore, here it gives me the 403. Okay, and here 400. All measure total sales is 100. Okay, all except measure one. Okay, I think I need to use all except measure one. Here I have used the location column here, right? Okay. So, okay, fine. So all except measure one. You need to use it strategically here, otherwise, so instead of using this one, I'll explain you, don't worry, okay? So all except measure one, and here I'm going to use the thing here. I just use the Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi. Okay, and if I unselect this one, and here 456. This is the scenario. So now the scenario is here. Now, instead of using the category filter, right? I have used the location name here. So in the Bangalore, what is the total sales? In Chennai, what is the total sales? And Delhi, what is the total sales it gives us, right? And in this case, as usual, right? The all measure gives me the, see here the all measure is not working, right? All measure is not working. All measure is not working. What I will do is I will just select the dairy. Why the all measure is not working in this case? Because in the all function, I have used the category column, but whereas now in this visual, I use the location name, Bangalore, Chennai. Since I did not exclude the, or did not use the location name column as part of all measure, it is not disregarding the filter. Instead of location name, if you use the category, it will simply disregard the filters comes from the external as well as the internal. So if in this case, the first column is not the category column, I'm using the location name. So in this case, what happens? The all function, right? It is not, it is simply doing the filtering, right? The same as your total sales. It is not disregarding the filter comes from category because you don't have the category column here. It is obeying the location name here. Okay. It doesn't mean all measure, all function will simply ignore the filters for all the columns. Whatever the call, look here in all measure, right? Here I have used the category column. So only when you have used the category column as the first column, the all function will ignore the filter. Since here it is not the, it is not the location name column, hence, right, it is simply accepting the filters. Okay. It is simply, it will ignore the filter only when it comes to category column, right? So other than the category column, it will accept the filter. Got it? This is the thing you need to remember it. So in the real world scenario, you'll be working with more than one filter also. Okay. All except measure what is happening here. Okay. So now we will see the same example here. Let's ignore the category column because we have used the location name, right? So here, what I do is all except measure one, I just say the dim location name equal to Chennai. I just say Chennai. No, I did not put commas. Look here, it will throw an error. I put comma here. Here you need to use double quote. See here, it's case sensitive. In your data set, if you have capital C, you have to use the capital C. Okay, here, so that's why it's not showing anything there. Okay, 1 second. You need to use caps later. Okay, all except measure. 1 second. It gives me so Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi. Okay, all the three things, right? Here, 1 second, all except measure one. It's not displaying it. I go to the data set because other guys were using my data set. 1 second, whether they deleted the data. So CHENI is there. Location space name. Everything is correct. Location space name, Chennai, and all except dim location, location key. In the location key column, a filter comes, you can simply accept it. But before that, I use the Chennai here. Okay. And here, what I do is say everything is correct. Yeah, so irrespective of the fact that when you use the Boolean filter, right, it gives me the total thing here. So what is this 405, all the things here. The all total measure is 1 second. I think there is some problem happened here. All except measure one. Because you cannot use it after the filter modification function. Supposed to display the Chennai here. It is not, yeah, it has to filter the Chennai here, but here it is not working. Fine. Yeah, in that case, right, I need to use both the slicer. It will complicate a little bit, probably, right? I need to introduce another slicer also. So it will cause confusion. What I will do is I will take up this little later. 1 second. 4,56,148 for all the locations put together. Okay. And here, yeah, and if I use the Bangalore, Chennai, it gives me the same thing here. Let me clear all the filter. If I use, okay, Delhi, Chennai, whatever the filter that you apply it here, it still, obeys this one. Okay. And here you can see that yeah, because in this case, all the visuals, so all the measures, right? All the measures, I did not use the location name. All these, so all the measures in this, all the measures in the sense, all measure, all selected measure, I did not use the location name. Okay. What I will do is I will have to change this one also. Okay. Okay. This is an exercise for you. Okay. You can use this, table, you can use this table visual, right? I just copy pasted this one. But in this case, what you need to do is you need to create a, duplicate of the all measure. In that all measure, in the all function, you have to use the location name. Okay, location. 1 second here. All except, I think I use the location key, right? All except, yes, Ashish. Okay, here I use the location key. Okay, I'm going to use a location name. I think that is the reason why we are getting confusion here. I did not notice that. Okay, I thought a location name it was, but still, okay, it is displaying the same thing, 6,138,000. Okay, now I use the filter here. Dim location name is equivalent to Chennai. It gives me that one, right? So here, what is happening? Can someone tell me? Now it is displaying it correctly. Total sales measure. I'll put it right after the location name. And see, for you, the assignment is you take all measure, all selected measure. You replace the category column by, dim location name. Okay. And then try it. But here it is working correctly now. What is happening here? What is happening here? So in this measure, location name equal to Chennai, I mentioned it. I have used the Boolean filter. All except function, what it does is any filter comes from the location name, you can filter it. Okay. But here in Chennai, the total sales is 4,05,000. This value got displayed across the rows. Across the rows. Okay. Across the rows. Now, if somebody is asking you, so, okay, what is the use of this one? What is the use of this? If somebody asks you, give me the percentage of, the sales contribution, uh, you know, give me the percentage of sales contribution across a location out of the total sales in Chennai. So this one divided by Chennai total sales, this one divided by this one. So this one, it's one only, right? So the same, you'll get one. The numerator Delhi is this one and denominator is this one. Okay. So in that case, now the question is, why should I know the percentage of revenue contribution from all the location um, out of the Chennai's total sales? Why should I find out the percentage of contribution? Let's say, the base location is Chennai. We have started let's say, the base location of this company is in Chennai. Hence, they wanted to compare what is the total sales we made in Bangalore, the percentage of the revenue generated, by other locations out of the total sales in Chennai. Is it clear? So, in that case, again, you create percentage of sales, all except measure, right? Something like that. So you need to use total sales divided by all except measure. Okay, so this one will give you what is the percentage of revenue contribution of each location out of the total sales from Chennai. So you need to take this one as the numerator. You need to take this one as a denominator. You need to take this as a numerator. You need to take this as a denominator. You need to take this as a numerator. You need to take the denominator. Okay. So in that case, you need to use a divide function. In the divide function, you need to use the same measure, total sales. But in the denominator, you need to use this name, all except measure one. Okay. That is an assignment for you. And also you need to you need to duplicate the all measure and all selected measure. Simply copy paste it, create a new measure and give some different name. Okay, all measure two, all selected measure two. And here in the all function, you need to use the location name. Here also you need to use the location name. Okay, and see what is the difference. So when you use the location name, each location contribution, revenue contribution out of the total sales, 4,56,000 something, right? So out of the total sales, what is the revenue contribution by each location? And out of the, the total sales for the displayed locations, what is the revenue contribution? All selected. And for example, our business is based location, Chennai. What is the revenue contribution of each location out of the total sales generated in Chennai? So in that kind of situation also, the all except function is really, really, really helpful. Understood? So this kind of scenario, you can use the all except function. Okay. So I don't want to complicate with, different scenarios. You will get confused. Okay. At this moment, but don't expect, you will work on a very simple project. So now with this, you are able to understand the difference between all function, all selected function, all except function. All function simply disregards the filter comes from internal, external, and the all selected function, it obeys the external filter comes from the slicer in this case, but it disregards the internal filter. Whereas the all except function, it obeys both the external as well as the internal filter. But what happened in this case, this is one of the scenario or use cases. So in this use case, this is the requirement. Okay, the business user or reporting user, when they come back to you, or if the stakeholders want you to create, one more column to display the percentage of revenue contribution of each location out of the total sales we made in Chennai. So in that kind of situation, also you can all accept. These are the use cases where you can use, these three functions. But in general, all and all selected, you use for this. But all except, you can use it for some other use case also. This is the classic use case where you can use the all except measure. This is one of the scenarios or use cases. So next one is the next one is the calculate table. Okay, I just jump into the calculate table because the other things little bit confusing. What I will do is I will jump into the calculate table function. So already we discussed about calculate function. We have we have something else called calculate table function. So what exactly the calculate table function is all about, how it is different from calculate function, we will just look at it now. I just go here and I just take any one of the calculate table. It's not there. Okay, fine. Here. So look here, this is the calculate table. Okay. Now we are discussing about the calculate table function. It is not a measure, right? Calculate table function is also one of the DAX function. But as the name, since the name ends with table, right? This calculate table function will return a table, unlike your calculate function. The calculate function returns a scalar value, What is scalar value? Single value. The calculate function returns a single value, whereas the calculate table function returns a table itself. Hence, if you want to if you want to use a calculate table function, go to modeling ribbon. Don't select new measure. Instead, you need to select the new table because the calculate table function returns a table itself. But with calculate table function, like calculate function, you can apply the filters. In the case of calculate table, right? Since this measure name ends with table, right? This one obviously returns a table, not a single value. Hence, right, you need to use the first argument as the table name. Okay. Whenever you create any new table, right, the first argument is supposed to be the table name. So here the fact sales, and then here what I do is I have used the list price here, and here the total sales table. What I will do is I'll just calculate table. I'll just put calc table price. So this one will create a table, with the name of calc table price. This table will have only one column, list price. Supposing you wanted to, have only one column, right? Instead of, look here, this is calculate table price. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. Here what happens? It displays all the columns. Okay, here. Okay, the list price. Okay. What I will do is, the list price is greater than, let's say, 50, greater than 174. Okay, I wanted to apply the filter. So here, right, if you specify simply fact sales and if you don't specify anything, it will return the fact sales data here. It's a duplicate. Don't ever do this one. See, what I'm trying to say is if you exclude this one, is simply put fact sales, and if you close this, it will return a table. Then all the columns, all the rows from fact sales, that's a overkill. So when we use calculate table is supposing you want to subset the data. For example, the other use cases or the scenario is you are doing the business across various regions: north, east, west, south, southeast. So north region, your business is really doing great. Your business volume is too high. Number of transactions, if you see, let's say 10 million records are there. Okay, or let's say 100. Let's say no, reasonably. Let's say 50 million records are there. And east region you have 5 million, and west region you have 6M, and south region you have 40 million. Okay, and southeast you have 1 million records are there. So here this is the highest record. Okay, and if you want to perform the um, filtering, right? So in that case, what happens? You have so many records are there in this one. It will be literally slow. So what you do is, for example, you want to work only with the north region. So what you can do is you can specify region is equivalent to north. It's subset of the data. Instead of taking all the data and working with that, you just create a table wherein you can house only the north region related data. And then you can work on this table. Okay, that is the idea of the calculate table. Okay, here instead of using region, I have used the list price. And so list price, what I will do is instead of list price, yeah, this is another example. Okay, we wanted to see we want to we want to subset the transactions where we made where we quoted the list price more than 174. We won't take it separately. Look here, 180 is there. So this is the next highest price, right? So in this you do some analysis. Okay, so in this case, right, those transactions, we sold the list price, we quoted the list price more than 174. Now, how much profit we made? Okay, how much profit, how much sales we made, how many units we sold, At that kind of analysis, you can do it with this. And because it's a subset of that, instead of doing the aggregation on a huge table, better you subset the data. If you work with the smaller data, it'll be easier. Okay. That's the whole idea. We can use it. So the same thing, we can use it for filter also. Okay. And filter functional also, I'll explain here. Insert, modeling ribbon. The filter also, right? We can use new table, because the filter function also returns the table. Calculate table returns a table. Filter function also returns a table. And here what I do is, instead of calculate table, so what I do is, one second. Same thing. I don't want to change the filter condition. If you want, you can change it. Here I just use the filter. What is filter function? What is filter function? Can someone tell me? Already I explained you, right? Several times I explained this one. What is filter function? What it does? What is filter function? None of you prepared. Okay, the filter function is an iterative function. Okay, and it returns a table, virtual table. And here in this case, like calculate table function, the filter function also returns a table. Unlike a calculate table function, you cannot apply more than one filter. If you have to apply the more than one filter, you need to use the ampersand, okay, and region equal to Chennai or Hyderabad, something like that, okay. You can add multiple condition using either the ampersand or pipe symbol, but you cannot use multiple filter like calculate table, how you use it, right? So the comma, you cannot use it. Calculate table also, we have seen the syntax. Okay, first we will start with the simple one. Yes, Tejaswini, you are correct. So filter table price. Both the calculate, just a while ago, we saw the calculate table, right? Calculate table price and filter table, both of them will have the same data. But the difference is you cannot use multiple conditions. If you have to use it, you need to use the logical operator and or something like that. But in the calculate table, it is, you can use multiple filters, like how you can use it with the calculate function. So where is that filter? Yeah, filter table price. Look here, the filter table price. All the columns from my fact sales, but only the list price is greater than 180. So the filter table, filter function, and the calculate table function, both of them returns the same thing. Okay. Then what is the difference between calculate table and filter function? Filter function, you cannot use multiple conditions. Okay. Whereas here in the calculator, you can use multiple filters. You can use Boolean filter. You can use the combination of Boolean with the table filter expression and so on. And also, you can use both the filter and calculate table in a measure itself. I told you, if you want to if you want to use a calculate table directly, and if you want to use a filter function directly, you need to click on the new table here. Modeling ribbon, you need to click on the new table. If you want to use it directly, calculate table filter. Is there any possibility that I can use the calculate table function and the filter function in the measure? Yes, you can use it. Okay, I'll just show you that one also. You can see here. Okay, the same thing, I'll just copy it. Where is that calculate table price? I just copy this. You need to be street smart. Okay, you should know when to reuse the existing measure or existing thing, so that it will save a lot of time. It will improve the productivity. You can complete the task on time or well ahead of the schedule. And here I just pay this one. Look here in this case. I'm going to use the calculate function here. Calculate function. Calculate function will return a scalar value. So here we know what is the already we have used the total sales measure. It's an expression. Instead of expression, right, I have used the total sales measure which I created already. And here the filter condition, I'm using the calculate table here. This closed parenthesis for this one. And so if you look here, you can see the red color thing, right? That means, there is no matching closed parenthesis for this. I'm going to hold the Alt key and press enter so that it can come to the next line. Here I put, okay, 1 second. Here I put 2 here already. Okay, now it is correct. So for this, there is a corresponding closed parenthesis. For this, there is a corresponding closed one. And here I just click on the tick mark. It will execute. It will check, whether, sorry, this one already is there. No, it will throw an error. Okay, I should have renamed it. It will say, yeah, it created a measure. Okay, ideally it should have thrown an error. Measure. Okay, I just give some meaningful name so that you don't have to get confused. So compute the total sales for the transactions where we quoted the list price more than 174. Look here, no error. It is working fine. So I'm going to show you the chord. I just click on the chord visual. And here I just use the calculate table. Okay, what is this? Okay, this is a different thing. I just remove it. This is the one I created. It takes a lot of time. I just drag and drop it. Look here, it gives me the value 436.638, something like that, right? So for the transactions where the list price is more than 174 also, right? What the total is? It gives me this one. So to what did you understand from this one? We can use the calculate table as part of your measure itself, but you cannot use the calculate table directly. You can use the calculate table inside the calculate function, so that you can create a measure. If you want to use the calculate table alone, then you need to create the table, because the calculate table alone returns a table, hence you need to click on the new table. This is called calculate table. Calculated table. So you should be knowing what is calculated column, what is measure, what is calculated table. Okay, so now I covered the calculated table also, right? Similarly, you can use the filter inside the calculate function. That is also possible. You can use the filter function as part of the measure, but you cannot use it directly in the case of new measure, okay? But you can use it as part of calculate function. Here I just rename it as filter price measure. Okay. So instead of calculate table, I'm going to use the filter function here. But is it possible for me to use the filter function as a first argument? Yes, right? Instead of total sales, you can use the filter there itself. You can refer the previous session. Okay, filter price measure. I just create another chord visual. This one. Filter measure. Filter price measure. This is the one, right? Thanks, Ashish. Good that you're concentrating here. I could see that. Okay, filter price. This is the one I created it. So both of them show the same value, right? Yes, obviously. In both the cases, I used it. Now the question is, what is the difference between filter and calculatable? We can use the calculatable function, filter function, as per the, so you can, separately. And you can also use the calculate table and filter function in a measure also using calculate function. Now the question is, what is the difference between calculate table function and filter measure function? So what I will do is I just go here and okay, I should have created with some category name or something like that. Okay. And here, I just drop this here internally inside this. Yeah. So here, this measure displays the values only for dairy and dry fruits and personal cares. Why? What is the reason? Why it displays the value only for these three categories? Rest of them, because here I did not see here I did not apply any filter. Look here, I just clear this one. Why it displays the value? 1 second, sorry. It displays the value only for these three categories: dairy, dry fruits, and personal care. Because in the rest of the categories, the list prices were not more than 174. Okay, more than 174. Hence, here nothing is displaying it here. Okay. So likewise, you can use the thing here. And in this case, for example, I'm going to use the calculate table price measure. And in this case, what I do is I just rewrite this one, dim location. Sorry, not dim location, dim category. And here I'm going to use I just removed the price filter. Instead, I'm using a filter on the category column where equal to dairy, category equal to dairy. Let's see what happens here. I have used the calculate table, okay? This is to help you to understand the difference between calculate table and filter function. The calculate table function, works with the filter context, whereas the filter function, it does not work with the, it will not apply the filter context, okay? Or it will not modify the filter context. Which one? The filter function, whereas the calculate table function modifies the filter context. That is the difference between filter and calculate table. This is the main difference, okay? And if you see here the dairy category, what is the dairy category totals is the calculate table price measure. And here in the dairy category, 4,03,000, right? See here, 4,03,000. That is the one displayed across the rows here. Okay, dairy. So now what I do is, if I select the beverages and the frozen foods and personal care, okay. So within this filter context, right, it still displays the, what is this one? What value is this? This is dairy category, guys. Please wake up, okay? This is in the dairy category, what is the total sales, right? Still the dairy category, values are displayed here along with the beverages, frozen foods, and something like. For example, beverages, what is the total sales? 400. Frozen foods, what is the total sales? Personal care, what is the total sales? But I want to display the dairy product total sales irrespective of the category that it get displayed. Yes, that is possible here. This one will be slightly difficult to understand this one. Okay. Okay. And the same philosophy. For example, if you want to find out the percentage of contribution by each category out of the total sales we made in the dairy fruits. Yes, Ashish, you are correct. Right. So in that kind of situation, this is helpful. Okay. So our understanding here is still it is working with this filter context. Okay. And here I did not select dairy. Okay. But still it displays the total sales of dairy across the rows. Okay. So what I do is I just take the filter here, filter price measure, right? I just change the same logics, filter price measure. Oh, sorry, filter price measure. Okay, it's not there. Yeah, simple example. Look here. Here itself it shows, right? Look here, it is showing blank here. It's in the filter price measure, right? Filter price measure. Okay, what I will do is I'll use filter price measure. Where is available? Okay, all comment. I need to clear this one. Yeah, here you can see that all commutables filter price measure. Here also what I do is I will just change it to dim category. Instead of using this condition, dim category, category dimension. In the dim category, category is equivalent to dairy. I have used dairy there also, right? In calculate table. Calculate table, I have used it as part of calculate, and filter function also you used it as part of the calculate table function. Okay, but the same condition I used it. And I just drag and drop this one here. Let's see what happens. Why it's not this one? Okay, I need to clear this one. Filter price. So surprise. Okay, and here, okay, I just drag and drop this measure. Look here, the filter price measure doesn't show anything here. For example, if I select dairy here, and okay, if I select dairy here, it is showing that here, right? But if I select other than dairy category, the filter, function, right, that I use in calculation, it is not returning anything. So what we conclude here is the calculate table function, right? It modifies the or overrides the existing filter, whereas the filter function cannot modify the filter context. It cannot modify the filter context. See, it's supposed to display the dairy category totals is across rows, but it is failed to create that one because here the condition is where category equal to beverages, but whereas here I use the category equal to dairy. Only when the condition is true, when the category equal to dairy, it displays that, right? Whereas here, even if the condition is not true, it displays the total sales in the dairy category because I have used the Boolean filter as the dairy, right? So what is the difference between the calculate table and filter function? This is a little bit advanced concept, obviously, right? It will be difficult for you to understand. You need to practice it. Okay, when it comes to software, you have to practice it. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand anything. 1 second. I just what is the difference between filter and calculate table? calculate table is typically used when you need to create a dynamic table expression with specific filters or conditions. That is what we did. Filter is useful when you want to filter on existing table expression to focus on this one, certain criteria. But the key difference is calculate table function, still overrides the filter context, whereas the filter or, the calculate table function modifies the filter context, whereas the filter function, it doesn't modify the filter context. That is the difference between these two. Okay. What is the filter context here? The filter context, nothing but filter. Okay. Here the filter is dairy. Okay. It modifies the filter, right? So what is the filter here? The filter is dry fruits, frozen foods, beverages. It modifies the default filter, even though you apply the filter on these three values. Still, it shows only the dairy related thing, right? Because that is what the one I want displayed along with each category. Okay. The displayed category. Whereas here, it fails to modify the filter context. Okay. So hence the calculate table is more powerful than your filter function. Okay, since you need to get a grip on the concepts, whatever I covered with the demo. Okay, I'm going to wrap up the session now. I thought of continuing for another half an hour. Anyhow, we will try to finish up the other DAX functions tomorrow. And next weekend, we will be finishing up the remaining DAX functions this upcoming weekend, right? So what we'll do, Tuesday also I'm busy. Wednesday and Thursday, we will continue with the SQL part. I will see to that. If possible, Tuesday also we'll say, we will sit, but Tuesday I have some other function, okay? And some parties there. And what we will do is we will continue on the Wednesday and Thursday, if possible, Friday also. Continue with SQL. With all these things, right, I hope we should be able to complete everything on this upcoming Sunday itself. The worst case, the next Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll have one more session. We'll cover everything, including SSIS, everything. In your SSIS, you need some time, but don't ever postpone. Don't fall prey to the, people who speak so nicely, right? Your life will be ruined. Okay. They say nothing.